who wouldn't want Jerry Jeudy to go and step in, and ultimately be the number one alpha dog right away? And it's looking like that's not going to be the case with Sutton.
Yes, we're back again.
Hey, let's pump up the volume.
Right here.
As always, if this is your first time listening, please make sure you subscribe on all platforms. Whatever podcast platform you're using, you subscribe there. If you're on YouTube right now watching, go ahead and click subscribe there. We would appreciate it. And if you're listening to the podcast via audio, we also appreciate it. And go ahead and leave us a review. We were trying to get better. We want to know what you guys think, and we want to really get better each and every day. And so you guys help us do that. We're in it for you, Whisper Nation. So help us out. Now, speaking of a team with a lot of weapons, how about the Denver Broncos? They really have loaded up in this offseason, and they didn't stop after adding Melvin Gordon and having Courtland Sutton last year. They said, look, Drew Lock, you were our guy. You did well last year. We're going to add some more weapons. And they add Jerry Jeudy out of Alabama. So many people, I think myself and Johnny agree that Jerry Jeudy was probably atop of their wide receiver boards. He was drafted number 15 overall out of Alabama. And, this was 2018's a couple years ago's best college wide receiver. Johnny, Jerry Jeudy is now going to a little bit of a question mark at quarterback, but definitely a loaded offense, a lot of running backs, a few wide receivers. So the offense should be formidable.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely putting the pieces around there, and on paper, this should be a very nice offense. Now, of course, the quarterback Drew Lock needs to step up and really be the quarterback that they expect him to be. And certainly, what I've seen on tape and what I saw from him in his rookie year, there are positives that you can take from his game. And I do think that he could potentially be the right quarterback to fulfill the needs of the wide receivers and all of the playmakers around him. Now, when you're talking about Jerry Jeudy, I absolutely, a lot of people were a little bit, discouraged by the landing spot. Who wouldn't want Jerry Jeudy to go and step in, and ultimately be the number one alpha dog right away? And it's looking like that's not going to be the case with Sutton. However, I think that his fantasy value doesn't really change too much, because now you're looking at a guy who is a rookie who would normally be going to a bad team with, and seeing the number one corner each and every single week. And now he's not going to see that. He's going to a team where there is Courtland Sutton, who is, by all means, the alpha dog there. At least we saw that last year, and kind of what he did to get Sanders out of the way. So you have Sutton there that is going to be the wide receiver one and going to take the majority of the number one corners. So this could really open up the door for Jerry Jeudy to not only have a really good career, but have actually a really good impact year one, because, a lot of times the big thing, it's the playbook and it's the route running that keep players off of the field. Well, we know that Jerry Jeudy is really, really good at route running, so that's going to keep him on the field. And, you're looking at a guy who's going to get the number two corner most of the time. And so give me Jerry Jeudy. I love the landing spot. I think he's really, really good. I think that, we could be seeing between CeeDee Lamb and some of these other wide receivers that are going, we could see a very similar situation like we did with AJ Brown and Julio Jones, where those two wide receivers have been pillars for dynasty and redraft leagues for several years.
Yeah, and I think the interesting point we're making here is, as we talk about this wide receiver room and these running backs, and you just, mentioned AJ Brown. So then what does that translate? Who's his quarterback? Ryan Tannehill. And then you're talking about Julio Jones. Who's his quarterback? Matt Ryan. And they've been both, had their fair share of being fantasy relevant, which means we got to start looking at Drew Lock as maybe one of those late round guys, or a guy that if you're going to stream at the position, which we know statistically you can do. I mean, I think Drew Lock will be a hot streamer, especially in a lot of these options. So, look, that they did the best they could in getting this guy prepped and ready, this guy being Drew Lock, in getting him the weapons, especially in the running game. But then Jerry Jeudy is the perfect guy for a quarterback that's learning and young, because he's going to be a route running technician, glide in his routes, in and out, break out of the ball, stab the ball out of the air. And he's going to be one of his best friends, I think, as far as just getting open all the time.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Whisperers podcast. You can hear more from John and Travis on Google Play, SoundCloud, and iTunes. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at TF Whisperers.